We got a good one today. We're taking a look at the Model 85 versus the Model 856. Now, this really isn't a versus video. We're not going to talk about the strong points of each gun. The only major physical difference between the two guns is the 856 holds 6 rounds. The Model 85 holds 5 rounds. Other than that, they're physically about the same size. The cylinder's a little bit wider on the 856 because it has to be to accommodate an extra round. Now, this is an older model. Model 85. A friend of mine let me borrow it. Thanks, Matt. I really appreciate it. It's got a double lockup on it. It's got a lockup detent here, and it's got a lockup detent on the ball right there for the extractor. And it's also got a lockup here that basically all that does is that's for your timing. But this thing locks up nice and solid. It's double action only. This gun does not have a single action pull. So there's, even though it's a bobbed hammer, you can't grab the hammer and pull it back and hold it back because it will not stay there. It just goes back forward, even with your finger off the trigger, as you can see. I don't want to slam it forward and dry fire it because I don't have snap caps in it. But this is a damn good little gun. I really like it. It's got a beautiful blued finish on it, and I would not feel undergunned with a Model 85. Now, moving on to the 856. It's also an extremely well-built gun. The finish is not near as pretty as the one on the 85. This 85 has just a gorgeous finish. I had a Model 85 once before that had a finish similar to this, but any bit of water would make it rust. I mean, just a little bit of sweat, a little bit of moisture in the air. I left it in my Jeep overnight in the glove box locked up. Went the next morning, got it out, and it was just, has surface rust everywhere. I was very disappointed in that. I don't have that gun anymore. Kind of wish I'd have kept it. It's kind of like every gun you get rid of. You wish you still had them. But yeah, both guns are clear. This has snap caps in it because I like to dry fire all of my guns, and it's good practice. It's get your double action pull and your single action pull down. That way you can be more proficient with your weapon. But this always has snap caps in it, usually, unless I'm carrying it. This 856 comes with what they call rubber grip, and it's very comfortable to hold. I mean, it's got a real nice feel to it. It's the grip is as small as it is. I can still get a good purchase on it. My pinky hangs off the bottom to an extent because it does wrap around the way that that's made right there. It's notched out and fits my hand very well, which they didn't do with the Model 85, and I'm really glad they did with the 856 because it's actually shoots and points and holds well. Very good shooting gun. Now, the Model 85, they all had, as far as I know, all of them had a safety on it back here on the back of the hammer. Even the exposed hammer model had a safety lock on it also, so you could lock the gun out so you cannot pull the trigger. The Model 85 does not have that. That security lockout is very similar to the Hillary hole like you have here on this Model 69 Smith & Wesson. It's back here under the cylinder release. And the only other safety that these guns have, which most modern revolvers do have, is it's got the transfer bar safety. You can see it in there. Hopefully it focuses in on it. But that bar, when you pull the hammer back, if you don't hold the trigger down, it drops out of the way. But if you pull the trigger down and the trigger is pulled, it keeps that bar up and allows the hammer to hit on that transfer bar, which pushes into the firing pin and allows the gun to fire. That's a very old safety style. That safety was actually invented by Ivor Johnson and Bicycle Works, I think was the name of it. And it's been around for 130 years or so because this was the first gun. This is the actual Ivor Johnson safety hammer. This is what all modern safeties were designed off of, pretty much. But we'll make a video about that one later. As far as shooting these guns, they shoot great. If you have any issues with windage or elevation, you're pretty much screwed because they have non-adjustable sights. It's just a U-notch in the back and a fixed front sight. The only thing you could actually do to fix one of these is if you had windage issues. Now, with windage issues, you can send them back to the company, or you can take it to a gunsmith and they can clock your barrel for windage, which basically all it does is take your barrel and spins it just a little bit so it gets you back on target. But they do have a tolerance of what's in spec and what's out of spec. So if you send it back to them and the gun is so far in spec, they won't do it, because what they consider like, you know, so far off of the bullseye, either way is in spec. These come in 2 different barrel lengths. This is the 2-inch model. They also make a 3-inch model. And they also make different finishes on it, like it's the matte black finish. They don't, I believe they don't offer that gloss black finish anymore, which is gorgeous. I wish they did. And they also offer this in a stainless finish, like a matte stainless. And they also have, I've seen a flat dark earth model of this, and that's a really pretty gun too. And they come in 2-inch and 3-inch barrel lengths. The only bobbed hammer model I've seen on their website was for the 856 Executive. The 856 Executive has a bobbed hammer and has a 3-inch barrel, and it's got some really pretty grips on it. I'm not sure if they're wood grips, like a G10 style grip, but it's just a really pretty gun. But I don't know if I would want it, just because it's a concealed carry gun with a longer barrel. I don't know why I would want a longer barrel on a concealed carry gun, because I like the most concealment I can get out of the smallest pistol I can get in the most effective package. This particular Model 85 is the ultralight. It's got an aluminum frame and I think an aluminum shroud with a steel barrel insert and a steel cylinder on it. They still make those in the ultralight models. I think it's still called the ultralight. I'm not 100% sure on that. I didn't look before I made the video. This is an all steel model. This is the aluminum steel hybrid, which is their ultralight. So if you were to shoot like a Stout Plus P, this gun will absorb the recoil a little bit better than this. So it's a give and take. The heavier the gun's going to be, the better it's going to absorb the recoil, and the less felt recoil you're going to feel. With a lighter gun, it's going to be lighter to carry. So if you carry this gun all day, you get less carry fatigue than you will with this one. One of the drawbacks is, though, it's going to have a little bit stouter recoil. And if you're recoil sensitive, you might not want to get the ultralight model. Especially if it's going in a purse or something. I don't think those extra few ounces will make that big of a difference, or in your pocket. The biggest difference between these two guns is the capacity. This is 5-round versus 6-round. It was a Model 85. In 2017, it was discontinued, and they made the Model 856, which is basically a Model 85 6 rounds. And it's a damn good gun. I have carried this only once, just to see how it did carry. It carried well. I've shot it. I think I've got maybe 100 rounds through this, maybe a little less. I can't remember, honestly. I know I need to load more 38 special up to shoot. They're both rated for Plus P, which I don't really see the advantage of Plus P, because you're only getting the minimal amount of muzzle energy you're getting. To me, doesn't equate having a little bit stouter recoil, especially if you're recoil sensitive, which 38's not a lot of recoil if you're used to shooting. But a new shooter might shoot one of these in a lightweight model with Plus P ammo, and it might be a little bit snappier than they want to shoot, and it might turn them off from shooting, so they might not want to do it. As far as that goes, I got completely off topic there. I get off topic a lot. Yeah, but as far as Plus P goes, there's really, to me, no actual reason to carry Plus P over standard ammunition in anything. I just don't really see a reason for Plus P. It's such a minimal advantage. You might go from like 250 foot-pounds of muzzle energy to like 260, 265. And that's not really going to equate to, you know, what somebody would consider stopping power. Because to me, stopping power is an instant drop. Like, that'd be, you know, a 10 millimeter, a very stout 45 ACP, any 50 cal. But I have shot this with Plus P and standard ammo, and I really didn't feel that much of a difference between the two. It's very negligible what the recoil is. It's probably a little bit more noticeable in the Model 85 lightweight, or even the 856 lightweight. I've done quite a bit of research on them. I did some research for the video before I did it. And if you have any questions that you can't find the answers to online, or just want to know anything about specifics of the gun, I will try to answer the best I can. Drop the question down in the comment. Yeah, so as always, man, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and let's take back our Second Amendment.